In the last few minutes, we have received some news through the West Ham Way website and X, who has confirmed the injury status of Nayef Aguerd. Now, of course, a lot of West Ham fans got a little bit nervy in the last 16 game, I believe it was, where Nayef Aguerd picked up an injury in his game for Morocco. Of course, Morocco through now to the semi-finals of the World Cup. They will take on France tomorrow in hope to try and get through to the final and defy all odds, really. But obviously, with our West Ham hats on, we were watching Aguerd, and we were all really, really impressed with how he was doing and how he was coping, not only in that game, but throughout the whole competition, despite conceding the only goal of their competition through his own goal. But overall, he's had a fantastic tournament as of yet for Morocco. Now he did go down injured and he got subbed off, and we haven't really heard too much news since then. That was last week. Now we saw videos of him dancing and celebrating, so many people, cast aspersions, were saying, well, he can't be that bad. He was dancing, he was moving quite freely, so it shouldn't be too bad. Now, in the last few minutes or so, we've received an update from X over on the West Ham Way website. I'll put the link to the article in the description down below. And he has said, despite the player himself seeming very positive with posts online and videos of him walking comfortably, ex-WHU employee has advised that Aguerd has picked up a thigh strain on his right leg, which is believed to keep him out of action for 1 to 3 weeks. So if we're saying 1 to 3 weeks, it happened last week, so we'll just go worst case scenario 3 weeks from now he's going to be back first week in the new year. We've got that Brentford game in the FA Cup. I'm sure they'll be targeting around that sort of period, worst case scenario, for Nayef Aguerd to be back. Now, of course, this is a lot better than obviously the worst case scenario. This is okay. I think we can take that and go, you know what, it could have been a lot worse. He could have been out for another 3 months or whatever. So I think, to be fair, we've got off quite lightly with this, and thankfully as well, because he's really proved himself in the couple of games before the World Cup period and during this World Cup for Morocco. I think he's been cool, calm, collected, composed and comfortable on the ball, and he's been a big part of why Morocco have got so far in this competition, and how they haven't conceded very many goals at all, and that's down to Nayef Aguerd massively. So obviously now, one thing to sort of add to that, what was said, he said, although the diagnosis is generally positive as it's a minor injury, this does leave concerns of West Ham over what the intentions are with Morocco, because they've kept the defender in Qatar in the hope that he will feature again. So from what we can hear here is that the Morocco sort of base are keeping hold of him in hope that he can just sort of get rid of it, or sort of fast track that 1 to 3 weeks and try and get him back maybe for tomorrow night against France. So that should be a little bit worrying for West Ham fans. He says West Ham, although of course wanting the best for the player on his World Cup journey, are anxious that he'll be risked that could result in a minor strain becoming much worse. So it's good news because of that, but from what X has said, there seems to be a little worry at West Ham that Morocco, of course, have kept hold of him. If he does play, we don't want to make this injury any worse with our West Ham hats on, of course. So that's the news then. So as far as we are aware, X has confirmed to us that Nayef Aguerd should be out with a thigh strain on his right leg for 1 to 3 weeks. Definitely not the worst case scenario we could have got out of this, and hopefully we can get him back at the club very soon, get his sort of rehabilitation started for a couple of weeks, and get him back in that side and starting Premier League games, because I think eventually that will be his role, because he's shown so far how good he is. So yeah, we need him right back in there as soon as possible. So yeah, good luck to Morocco tomorrow night as they take on France. Can the underdog win? Who knows? But yeah, that is your West Ham news. You're up to date with the Nayef Aguerd news. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you're new. That's it from me. Come on, you irons, and I'll catch you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. The news is Nayef Aguerd is out, as far as we are aware, for 1 to 3 weeks. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.